That's me. Welcome to the ALX files, the random video of me, Alexander Blino, talking about whatever's on my mind at the current time. Unrehearsed, unprofessional, and unacceptable. Anyway, I like to think you should accept the world, you should accept others. Acceptance is a good thing, so I speak in a way that anyone who knows me, it's quite Malkavian, weird, satirical, confusing. Confucius says, wise man knows nothing. I have no idea. I didn't really rehearse, and I know nothing about Confucius. I got to go back. I did read a little bit, I know, said stuff, and he had a lot of, wisdom and practical wisdom, yeah. So, note to self, study Confucius. But I did dabble in, Miyamoto, the Japanese, I think he was a Japanese samurai guy who wrote the Book of Five Rings and was a warrior and then went into philosophy. That's some good stuff. Miyamoto, maybe, was his name? Miyamoto. I gotta have notes here. I really should have notes. But this is kind of practice sessions for if I ever do get any type of show, we're just gonna get more comfortable. We were out by the water yesterday, but today we're doing it here. Try to have not too much craziness in the background. The cats might knock over the camera, who knows. But what do I want to talk about? I was just watching Stephen D. Kelly, the guy who's talking about the stuff under the Getty, and sometimes he loses me with the psychic stuff and the talking about weapons, whatever. He goes off, but I seen him hitting the vape too, so I was like, oh man. And so this dude seems like a real one. He's not too big. I don't know what to take of it. Maybe I don't want to believe that it's true because it would mean, missing kids. But I kind of deep down do believe the government's involved in the missing children thing and stuff like that. And, maybe some of the adrenochrome theories. And, they say, they can synthesize it. So why would they need blood? But all you hear is donating blood and all that. And, I don't know. Looking into the blood drinking of executions and Roman gladiators in the past, in the West, we don't really know our history, right? We know America especially, we know U.S. history. But what did I want to say? Stephen D. Kelly brought up something that I've heard through The Alchemist, Sarah L. Caldy, right? And she works with After School. And originally I had heard of the Law of One, and that led me to Aaron Abke, who's into Christian mysticism, I guess. And he has a friend, Cam Guy, makes the film Christspiracy, which is kind of what led me to stop eating meat recently. Not trying to say I'm going to stop eating meat for the rest of my life or anything, but I have stopped eating meat, and I feel pretty good about it. So you can say whatever you want. I don't want to judge others for eating meat, but I personally have stopped myself from grabbing it and eating it, which was, the hardest thing at first, because I tried to stop beginning of September. I had stopped before, and I found myself just, a piece of turkey, you don't even consciously know what you're doing. So I've kind of stopped that process. And yeah, September I haven't eaten meat. I mean, I stopped before that, probably a couple days before, and like I said, maybe nibbled on some stuff, and maybe I should for my weight, my protein, etc., but at the end of the day, if something doesn't need to die for me to live, I'm cool with that. Yeah, maybe I could eat a bunch of meat and get so strong and be so much better off. But if I can still have a good life and those things can live too, I choose that. And who knows, maybe I could get stronger and have a better life with plants. And even then, I'm ending, sometimes plant life or, vegetables matter too. So maybe limiting our consumption. And I think Arnold Ehret, the mucus-free living guy that Sebi stuff kind of comes from in the 1800s, he he would talk about caramelous food. That fruit was one of the only ones that, you know, it's kind of meant to be picked and eaten, and it's not harming anything. So, you know, maybe try to get a lot of those foods in my diet too, the ones that kind of are sustainable and, you know, mutualistic. So, tomatoes, avocados, things like that. You know, eat a lot of that stuff. I'm down with that. I've already started to eat more oranges, fruits here and there, and people say, I can't. You got to do this, you got to do that. But, you know, let's see what happens, because we know we do live in an age of we know everything, but we don't know everything. And the studies are here in America, but the studies in America are in America. We know there's foods here in our country that are banned in other countries. And we know that in history, things have come out. Oh, wow. They were doing this in the past, and it was killing people. Wow. They should have known better. So, you know, basically what I wanted to say, though, about this rant, because it's going to be done. ALX Files 3. What did Stephen D. Kelly mention, other than the missing kids and the corruption and underground tunnels? What did he mention that intrigued me, that also made me go, wow, this guy mentioned something that other people mentioned, and it was two paths. This is what Sarah L.